Pulling Power, sponsored by Exchange and Mart, for what's going on in cars today.
This week, Ibiza Uncovered, we reveal a new Seat in the sun. Coronation Street window cleaner Gary Mallet comes clean about cars. And we find out why the DVLA has got a crush on you.
Happy birthday, dear Mini. Happy birthday to you. Yes, it's the fabulous Mini 40th birthday this year. It's been the car of the stars. Peter Sellers, Spike Milligan, Cliff Richard, they've all owned one. Oh, and Ian Mercer, you know, the bloke of Coronation Street.
Now, I'm the kind of girl who just loves and adores compliments. So when they said to me, Sal, we've got a great job for you this week, a job where you will just shine, a job where you will add a touch of vision and sparkle, I thought, great. Till I realised we were talking about cleaning the windows. Wow, for their information, I do not clean windows. However, I found a guy who just loves cleaning windows. In fact, it's right up his street. And here he is now. It's the nation's favourite window cleaner from Coronation Street, Gary Mallet. Real name Ian Mercer, of course. Ian, how are you doing?
I'm very well, but never mind all that.
Come on, I think you're going to come and help me with my windows.
No, you're going to come and help me with mine. I've got a much more important job for you. Come on, Sal, get it.
Okay. I'm really sorry I couldn't get you the Jag I promised. I hope the Mini Clubman will do. But it's relevant in some wee way, isn't it?
It is.
Because you used to drive one.
I did. My very first car was a Mini Clubman Estate. At 250 quid, it was the best bargain in the paper. But the sump was so low. Don't ask me what a sump was. I think it's something to do with the engine.
Well, it sounds very technical. The sump was so low. That's the Oldham accent coming out
there.
It
meant that you couldn't go over anything. The slightest bump and you'd be catching it.
Yeah.
There'd be no way now that them sleeping policemen, they'd make a mess of your car. So
exactly. I mean, this car is not for the modern roads at all, is it?
No, it's not. But you learn things about cars on something like this because they're quite easy to work on. I wasn't what you call an engineer around the car or a mechanic, but I'd grease the odd nipple in it.
Grease the odd nipple? What kind of expression is that? That's a terrible thing to talk about.
Well, there's quite a lot
what does that mean, grease the odd nipple? Come on, let's talk about that. What does it mean?
Well, there's like a bung, and it's got a ball bearing in it, which is on a spring.
A ball bearing?
A ball bearing. And you get a grease gun, and you put it up tight against the nipple, which is the ball bearing,
right.
And you press it, and it goes in under pressure, and it reaches all the bits that matter, ball bearings and joints.
There you go. So you do know a bit about cars, don't you?
I actually was.
An engineer. You studied engineering. You see, I've read your CV. As the window cleaner at Coronation Street, do you have a car that you drive around in?
No, I've got a cart, which is probably an even older idea than this, but I have a cart which I push my ladders round on, and it holds my bucket and my squeegee and whatever else.
What a shame. They could have given you a more glamorous role than the window cleaner.
I think there's a certain amount of sexiness about a window cleaner. Can't really put my finger on it, but there is something in coming round to your house, knocking on the door, that kind of thing.
You mean a nice bit of rough?
I think I do, don't I?
Well, in Ian's role as Gary Mallet, the window cleaner on Corrie, he's not just a nice bit of rough, because when occasion demands, he can also get tough.
What do you think you're doing?
If Gary did have a car to drive at Coronation Street, what kind of car would he have?
For the window cleaner, mind you, we've got twins as well, so it'd have to be an estate. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with this, would there, really?
This would be perfect for Coronation Street, wouldn't it?
Judy sat beside me.
And the kids in the back. Don't you wish now that you kept your Mini Clubman? I mean, driving this today is great fun, but it'd be such a nice classic car to have in the garage,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
But could you give up the time, to spend your life underneath the bonnet of a classic...
A lot of people do, a lot of people love that. I mean, that could be something you could get into later, couldn't it? In between your golf and your acting. You could, sit underneath the bonnet.
I can't see me ever going back underneath a bonnet of a car. I mean, I wasn't particularly talented at it. I think you do it when you have to, when you've got more time than money.
Yeah.
And when the time and the money things start to get level, you pay somebody else to do it. It's
Yes,
like
exactly.
decorating.
You want to get a modern car, as you say, that's got warranty and all the rest.
Well, let's have a look at something else. If you shared your life with me, Michelle, this would be a fine thing. If you shared your life with me...
You never know. Are you asking me to spend the rest of my life with you?
I'm imagining.
Ian?
I'm asking you to imagine.
He's got a smile on his face and everything. Go for it, boy. Go for it.
I'm asking you to imagine if you can. Right. You did.
Yes.
Which word do you want? Do you want me underneath the car? You don't, do you, really? I didn't mean it like that.
In which way?
Enough of this window cleaning and Mini Clubman malarkey. Now that Ian and I are officially together as a couple, I suppose I ought to help him out with that rather important job he mentioned earlier.
Right then, Sal. This is it, we're here. Well, first things first, let's get the bucket.
Wow. Are we actually staying here tonight?
Well, Sal, I'm staying here tonight, but as an apprentice window cleaner, you probably have to do at least 1,000 windows.
Sure.
But we fixed it for you to be able to do them all at once.
Sorry, Ian, no one seems to hear me when I say I don't do windows. Forget it.
When you finish the windows, I'll be on the 17th floor, but not loudly, Sal, so I'll be in the shower.
In your dreams, mate.
And if you're curious about the car, our Mini Clubman Estate was one of the thousands made at Longbridge, Birmingham. This one cost £3,500 when new, and it's still worth £3,000.
How much do you think this is worth? No idea. Neither have I. I know a man who does.
You know, a lot of automobilia pieces say far more about the mentality of the designers than the drivers who bought them. For example, what tortured soul came up with the idea of mechanical mascots? This 1920s piece worked on wind power activating the propeller. The faster you went, the more rapidly the bird's wings flapped. I'll bet drivers were breaking speed limits to see if the mascot would take off. And here's another, made by a company called Flying Mascots Limited. When you were really motoring, the wings would go up and down in both directions. £3 please in 1920. Today, they're worth between £300 and say £450. You know, in those days, nobody thought about the danger to pedestrians from mascots. If you could make it, you could sell it. Like this curious piece, The Lonely Scarecrow, for the man who knew he was going nowhere. And what do you make of this? The condemned man, said to represent a motor trader who found another hike in taxes just too much. A lady friend of mine remarked, "That's what I call a well-hung man." Whatever could she have meant?
Ibiza, sun, sea, sangria and sex. But not for Mike Rutherford, he's got the new car instead.
I'll tell you, I'm feeling no pain right now. That's because I'm here in Barcelona, one of my favourite cities, and of course the cultural capital of Spain. We're here to drive this car, the new look Seat Ibiza, which is built right here in the heart of Barcelona. The only problem with this vibrant city is that it's 24-hour-a-day traffic mayhem, which is why we, and our Ibiza, are headed for the hills.
Escaping Barcelona's traffic isn't easy. Even the B roads to the mountains are clogged with drivers avoiding the motorway tolls. John Prescott, please take note.
Well, this is a revelation. I drove to the airport back in England in the old shape Ibiza. This is such a huge improvement. I mean, the interior is just the absolute business. And it just means that the bit that you stare at most in a car, the mantelpiece, if you like, the dashboard, really does look very nice indeed.
These days, Seat are owned by VW, and that basically means the Ibiza is a Polo under the skin. But its interior dimensions are the same as the Mark I Golf.
We're driving the 100 brake horsepower 1.6 litre version today. There's also a 1.8 turbo, wait for it, with a 156 horsepower on tap and a claimed top speed, I mean claimed, nobody's proved it yet, of almost 140 miles an hour. We're talking about a Seat Ibiza doing the best part of twice the legal speed limit.
If you're looking to invest your hard-earned cash in one of these new Super Minis, you'll be delighted to hear they come with 3-year unlimited mileage warranties. And they should undercut most of their small car rivals.
This front grille here, I think you'll agree, has got that sort of BMW look about it. That's the new corporate look for Seat, and I think we're going to be seeing an awful lot more of that. Shame they go and spoil it all though with this horrible Seat logo. Lovely side skirt here. Normally I don't approve of that on any car, but it does work well on this. And just like the front lights, I think we've got some brilliantly designed rears here. Now this is clever. Ugly, but clever. It's actually the boot release catch. And that is the work of one Walter da Silva. He was the design director for Alfa Romeo in Italy, and now he's come down to do the same job for Seat in northern Spain. And I think you'll agree, the bodywork is absolutely fantastic.
And some of that bodywork starts life at a VW design centre down the road from Barcelona in Sitges.
Well, we're sort of out of bounds here, we shouldn't really be here, but this is the Volkswagen Nerve Centre for design, whether it's a Volkswagen Group company that is Skoda or Seat or Volkswagen itself or Bugatti or Rolls-Royce or Audi. A lot of the work for those cars is done inside this building, which is a Fort Knox of a building. There's no way you can get into this place.
And these are the wonderfully wacky cars that influence the designers who work here.
Look at this over here, we've got on British plates, would you believe, an old Morris Traveller, and that belongs to, can you believe this, one of the top clay modelers inside that building. On the right here, we've got a Saab Turbo, which is again a favourite of many car designers around Europe. And look at this. You might think that's an old Fiat 600. In fact, it's a Seat 600. Fiat, of course, used to be the parent company of Seat.
And one of Seat's top designers is an old mate of mine, ex-Coventry student and Jaguar employee, Steve Lewis. Now, Steve and his box of crowns have had a tough life travelling the world styling cars for the likes of Renault, Volkswagen and currently VW's sister company, Seat.
What part of the current Seat models are you responsible for? Any, the front end, the rear end, the interiors?
I can say the front image of Seat is mine. You can see influences obviously from upmarket models, BMW, Alfa Romeo for example.
What's the thinking behind setting up these design studios in this part of the world? This is being regarded as the sort of California of Europe these days. What's the significance in that?
I think Renault have just opened up a new studio in Barcelona.
Fiat are supposed to be coming?
Fiat, we've heard, are on the way. Chrysler are rumoured to be coming here. Who knows what the future holds.
I mean, is the feeling that when you're surrounded by sun, sea, that it kind of inspires you to kind of be a bit more relaxed, a bit more happy with life, and therefore you take that to work with you and you're a bit more creative in what you do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd rather be on the beach than sketching in the studio.
Well, look, this is your little town. Are you going to show me it?
Yeah.
The town, that is.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Got me in the eye. Well, I suppose if it all goes pear-shaped in the car design world, you can try your hand at this. But on a more serious note, what's it like spending 7 days a week in a town like Sitges?
5 days a week, actually, Mike.
What happens the other 2 days?
I've just bought myself a house in Ibiza.
Just looked up there and that's Sin Street. I saw a man jogging up there wearing leather shorts, and there's a bar called, I think it's called El Horno, and the one that really worried me that was called XXL. I mean, I had a bit of difficulty with that. Can you explain this phenomenon?
Well, Sitges is well known as a gay resort in Spain, Michael, and well, that's taken as part of life here. I've got no problem with it, and
it's a gay town.
It's a gay town.
Nobody told me it was a gay town.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what was the biggest shock, Sitges on Sea or the new Ibiza uncovered.
I tell you, I've just spent 2 days of my life doing hundreds, or was it thousands of miles around mountain roads, city centre streets, motorways. In this, the new facelifted Seat Ibiza, and it's good. The problem for the Ibiza though, is that around the corner is the new Volkswagen Polo, the new Fiat Punto, the new Ford Fiesta. I tell you, as a hatchback buyer, you've never had it so good.
Coming up, we'll be telling you why Scotland's answer to Mad Max is coming to a street near you, and inventor Trevor Bayliss unearths some motoring milestones. Have you ever wanted a friend in the car trade to tell you what's hot and what's not? Well, Pulling Power's got one, and this week, four-wheel drives are going for a song.
You, the retail buyer, tend to follow market trends. The trend of 5 years ago was towards a four-wheel drive market, and what we see around us is the aftermath of that trend. So four-wheel drives, are they good or are they bad news? Well, if you're in the market to buy a four-wheel drive, it's excellent news. There's never been as much choice, but you've got to know what you're looking for. Talk about value for money, what about this? Nissan Patrol 4.2 SGX Automatic. 1996 N registered, done 40,000 miles. It's got a trade value of around about £10,000. 6 years ago, this Chrysler Cherokee was the height of fashion. Today they see them sell daily at around about £7,500. It's a 93 registered car with 75,000 miles. You'd see it on a retail pitch at around about £10,000. And of course we couldn't go without mentioning the Land Rover Discovery. Not the most refined four-wheel drive in the marketplace, but we're seeing early examples of these cars selling at under £7,500 at auction. So what are the downsides? This type of thing. These tyres can cost you £250 a corner. Another thing, big cars with big petrol engines mean big fuel bills. Many of the people that first bought them have not replaced them. They found them difficult to park, they found them noisy, uncomfortable to drive, and often the running costs were more than they first anticipated. So what are we saying? Well, if you fancy a venture into the 4x4 market and you've got a genuine reason to run one of these things, there's some tremendous bargains to be had.
Sold! 4625 RS.
Be afraid, be very afraid, because if you've forgotten to buy one of these, the DVLA will send the boys round to sort you out. And trust me, the boys love sorting people out.
Now then, who has the best job in the world on four wheels? Is it the Queen's chauffeur who drives the country's most elegant Rolls Royce? No. The man I have in mind has redefined road rage. After all, he has 150 opportunities every single day to vent his motoring frustrations. And his name is Angus Braidwood.
He's the enforcer with a 360 horsepower, £200,000 mobile car crusher. If you don't pay your dues, he'll take it out on your car.
If you're in a bad mood in the morning, I'll tell you by 5 o'clock you feel better.
Angus has been crushing around 150 cars a day in scores of cities where the DVLA is getting tough with road tax dodgers. If the car's too good to be crushed, it's auctioned.
The vast majority of unlicensed vehicles we're talking will have no insurance, they'll have no MOT certificate. So clearly anything that we can do to encourage people to relicense, we are actually encouraging compliance with road and vehicle safety requirements as well.
The DVLA can legally crush or sell your car if you don't pay road tax, as some residents in Charles Street, Cheltenham found out recently. Patrols have been out spotting cars with out-of-date tax. First target this Vauxhall Chevette. The clampers move in. Before clamping, a quick check to DVLA headquarters in Swansea to ensure the tax still hasn't been paid.
Yes, it is unlicensed. Clamp it.
A bad day for Vauxhall owners. Next, an Astra.
Clamp it.
The The owner of this Audi Quattro was too angry to talk to us, or the DVLA clampers, and left it to his girlfriend and his pal.
It's DVLA, right?
Yeah.
It's, it's their scheme. Unfortunately, we've got it taxed.
Yeah.
We're here just to make sure that no one gets upset and starts fighting people.
I don't think it's very fair, even myself.
And it cost him £68 to get the clamp removed, a £100 surety to guarantee he'd produce a tax disc within 7 days, and 3 months back tax. So far, the scheme has brought in £80 million.
The crushing of a vehicle is 5 weeks down the line. We're not talking about taking a vehicle off the streets and crushing it there and then. That is the ultimate threat, and that is actually carried out if the person has ignored the clamping of the vehicle, has ignored the impounding of the vehicle, and has ignored every letter that we've sent to them to tell them to come back and collect the vehicle.
Since this programme started 2 years ago, they've clamped 17,000 cars, of which 7,000 have ended up crushed like this. So if you're a Toyota, Triumph or Mitsubishi owner and you haven't taxed your car, then watch out, because your car could be next. In fact, this could be your next car, because the steel from here is taken to Europe recycled for new models. Who says there's no such thing as life after death?
It could cost this Sierra's owner £600 to get it back, what with back taxes, release fees and storage. Let's see, a 1985 Sierra, 600 quid? Not worth it. Sorry, you might have been cherished once, but my guess is you're for the chop. And that means one more unroadworthy vehicle off the streets.
Well, no pulling power would be complete, of course, without a road test. So here's one for all you BMW owners. Try and get your golf clubs in there now, matey. Another pulling power exclusive. I've just invented the BMW Compact.
About to take your driving test, feeling a bit nervous, bet you wish you were born 100 years ago when there wasn't one. Well, you won't, not after this.
You know, people were driving on the highway for almost 40 years before some bright spark decided that it might be a good idea if they had a driving test. And so, of all days, the 1st of April 1935, the driving test was born. Its aim to make motoring safer. There were only 1.5 million cars on the road, but 7,000 people had been killed in motoring accidents in the previous year. Now you must remember that this was before the days of brake lights and indicators. Signalling was a vital part of the driving test. Waving? No, this was the serious business of letting others know what you're doing.
Driving merrily along and wishing to pass another car, your arm should signal clearly that you are pulling out. Always let following traffic know what you are going to do.
Most of the skills tested in 1935 remain the same today. The test lasted around 30 minutes, including questions on the highway code. The test cost 7 and 6pence in 1935, but 2 years later it was cut to 5 shillings. 25p. Why? Because, quite frankly, government made far, far too much money out of the driving test. I wonder if John Prescott knows about that.
And if you want to know more about this week's show, then check out our webpage at carlton.com/pulling power.